Guys, I want to ask you one question. In your life, right, have you encountered anyone that is super spiritual and religious? And sometimes they make you feel uncomfortable. For me, I have a lot of experience about this. And today, we're going to talk about a really chilling case because this case involved ritual. It's called the Toa Payoh ritual murder, and this happened in Singapore. So before I go deep into the case, I need to explain where is Toa Payoh. So basically, Toa Payoh is a city planning area, and it is a pretty mature residential town located in the northern part of central region of Singapore. Now, Toa Payoh considered a pretty safe place to live in Singapore. However, in the 80s, Toa Payoh had a reputation for crime, and one of them is a case that we're going to dive deep together. On 25th of January 1981, at a block of a public housing flat in the town of Toa Payoh, a body of a 9-year-old girl was found, and 2 weeks later, a body of a 10-year-old boy found nearby Toa Payoh residential area. And these two cases were orchestrated by the same murderer. His name is Adrian Lim. According to sources, for many years, Adrian lived in Block 12, Toa Payoh Lorong 7, and he's into ritual. And according to his neighbor, Adrian would perform noisy ritual in the middle of night. And his behavior actually concerned his neighbors because it's weird, you know, like midnight you are performing rituals. So scary. If it's me, I would just move out from that block. Jesus. So why does Adrian want to learn how to perform ritual? Adrian was born on 6th of January 1942, and he was the elder son of the middle-income family. His sister described him as a hot-tempered boy. Also, he dropped out from Anglo Chinese school as well. And this is kinda insane. After Adrian dropped out from school, he worked in many kinds of jobs, including working as an informant for the Singapore government agency Internal Security Department. Jesus, he's a spy. So fast forward to 1973, Adrian started a new career, which is a spirit medium. And he learned it from a Bomo called Uncle Willie. But he only learned how to perform tricks. So basically, he don't know real rituals. He learned it to scam people. However, he successfully deceived a lot of his clients, claiming that he has supernatural power. One of his tricks is that he can solve any problem with a special massage. Yes, you are very clever, you guessed it. He will use this trick to sexual assault his female client, including rape. During this period, Adrian didn't act alone. He has two women accomplices. Their name is Ho and Tan. However, these two women were actually brainwashed by Adrian and made them a personal assistant. Adrian will also convince women to be his holy wife. And according to sources, he has more than 40 holy wives. I think basically he brainwashed women to think that he's a god, so every woman wants to marry him. And in the late 1980s, Adrian has sexual assaulted and raped a lot of women. And Adrian was arrested and charged with rape. And eventually he was granted bail. And while he was granted bail, he was pretty frustrated about the rape charges on him. And then an evil thought emerged inside him. Adrian started to target children. Adrian believes that a sacrifices of children to Hindu goddess Kali will help him to escape the rape charges. Like, this is crazy, you know? How insane is he? And one day, he pretended to be possessed by Kali, and he told his two assistants, Ho and Tan, that the goddess Kali wants them to kill children. Adrian then instructed Ho to find him a suitable candidate. A while later, Ho found 3 children for Adrian. However, Adrian didn't like all of them, and the reason is because Adrian don't like one of the children's religion and one of the children's body type. This is so disgusting, man. And on 24th of January 1981, Ho brought another children for Adrian, and the victim is a 9-year-old little girl called Agnes. Ho took Agnes while she was waiting at the Church of Risen Christ in Toa Payoh. However, this time, Adrian didn't reject this kid. He said that he can see the future and he saw Agnes will grow up to be evil and cast spells on others unless she is killed. Bro, you are the one that is evil and casting spells. So after Ho brought Agnes to Adrian's house, 3 of them gave Agnes food and drink that was laced. And after Agnes became groggy and fell asleep, Adrian sexually abused her. And this is the most weirdest part. 3 of them pricked Agnes' finger using needle or whatever and drank a sip of her blood. What kind of ritual are you performing? You know? Are you Dracula? Are you Dracula? And when Agnes woke up and went to toilet, that's when they killed her. After they killed her, Adrian used an electroshock therapy device to double confirm that she was dead, and they stuffed her body into a bag and dumped it near to a lift at Block 11. And hours later, neighbors found the back of Agnes' body and they quickly called the police. And after killing Agnes, Adrian was not satisfied at all. Adrian told Ho that now he wants a boy. However, he don't want any normal kid. He wanted a kid with rich family so they could collect ransom before murdering the boy. In less than 2 weeks after murdering Agnes, they found a 10-year-old boy, and the boy name is Gazali. They found Gazali playing at the playground with 2 cousins. Ho asked Gazali whether he could help her to collect something from her friend. Gazali agreed to help and he followed her to a taxi. And and that was the last time he was seen alive. Ho then brought Gazali to Adrian's house. Adrian then drugged Gazali. However, it took a long time for Gazali to fall asleep, and Adrian decided to tie him up as a precaution in case he ran away or anything. However, during this time, Gazali was resisting, and then he was knocked out by Adrian. After Gazali collapsed, Adrian, Ho and Tan proceed to draw bloods out from Gazali, and they also drank his blood. And after they took out his blood, they drowned him, and unfortunately, Gazali died. And three of them packed Gazali's body and threw it under a tree. On 7th of February 1981, Gazali's body was found under a tree between Block 10 and Block 11. Remember, this police already found Agnes's body around the block. Now Gazali's body was found near the block as well. Police then followed a trail of blood which led to Adrian's house. Adrian's house is at 7th floor of Block 12. According to one of the inspectors, while he was inspecting floor 7, he noticed a mix of religious symbols such as cross, a mirror, and a knife blade. And all of the symbols were on the entrance of the first flat, which is unit number 467F, and that unit belongs to Adrian Lim. The inspector then asked Adrian to let the police in to search his flat, and Adrian allowed them to come in. And during this time, Adrian tries to act normal, and he told the police that he is living with his wife and a girlfriend. That wife and girlfriend is Ho and Tan. A while later, police found traces of blood, but Adrian told the police it was candle wax stain. And then Adrian felt something is not right. He quickly changed his answer to chicken blood. And the inspector is not stupid. He felt something is weird. And around this time, the inspector received words from local officers that Adrian Lim was currently involved in a rape investigation. And the conversation was heard by Adrian, and he became very agitated and he raised his voice towards the police. And Adrian's action raised the suspicion of the police, and they took Adrian, Ho and Tan in for questioning. And 2 days after they arrested Adrian, Ho and Tan, all of them were officially charged for the murder of the two kids. On trial, prosecutor Glenn Knight argued that the killings were calculated and deliberate. Prosecutor told the court that Adrian, Ho and Tan were not under any kinds of trance, and they are performing fake rituals to kill kids. And prosecutor Glenn Knight described them as cold-blooded murder, and it is designed to deceive and cover up Adrian Lim's crime. And then 3 defendants entered their defense. They pleaded diminished responsibility. So their lawyer argued that each of them suffered from serious mental illness at the time of the murder. Yes, this is a pretty standard tactics from lawyers, because all 3 of them truly sound insane. But the burden of proof is on the defense lawyer's side, and the defense need to prove this abnormality for 3 of them on the balance of probability. And if the defense successfully prove, instead of mandatory death penalty, the conviction will be for culpable homicide, and this carries a lighter sentence, which is life imprisonment up to 20 years. So the whole trial lasted for 41 days, and on 25th of May 1983, the judges rejected the plea of diminished responsibility, and the court concluded that 3 of them were fully responsible for the murders. So basically, the court said that Adrian is not insane. That is his ritual and that is his superpower. So all 3 of them were found guilty of murder and sentenced to death by hanging under Section 302 of Singapore's Penal Code. And after the verdict, Adrian chose not to appeal. But Ho and Tan did appeal against their sentence, arguing again that their mental illness should reduce their sentence. However, the Court of Appeal dismissed these arguments and upholding the original verdict, which is death penalty. And on 25th of November 1988, after years of imprisonment and failed appeals, Adrian Lim, Catherine Tan, and Ho Kah Hong were executed at Changi Prison. This case actually haunts a lot of Singaporeans because it involves ritual. And I think from this case, we learned that everything has a limit. Like, you can be religious, no problem. But if you become too religious and started to believe in weird rituals, then you need to start to think about it. Because in real life, like I say, I bet all of you has an experience where someone are too crazy about religion and they make you feel really uncomfortable. I have a lot of experience, but I cannot share it here because it seems really disrespectful. But yeah, I encountered a lot of, too religious person. Yeah, but this is a really sad case. Let's pray for the family and may the 2 kids' soul rest in peace. You can comment down below any case you want me to dive deep. In this channel, we talk about cases from Asia, Europe, anywhere. Once again, thank you. I'll see you guys in the next case.